Hey guys, thanks for joining me here. This is going to be the first of our online meetings since we're migrating everything online. First thing I want to say, as I mentioned in my previous email to you guys, is don't worry. Everything is going to be fine. I've used Zoom before, but I haven't used it to record lessons. So I'm still getting used to this technology. In fact, this is like the third time I tried to make this take. So hopefully this time will work and everything will work out right. What I'm going to do in this first video is just talk briefly about how the rest of this semester is going to play out. We have a few changes, not a big deal, but a few changes I'm going to talk to you about in this little short video. So first off, I want to talk about, let's see here. Sorry. I want to talk about a few things on your As You Learn page. Hopefully now you see your As You Learn page. Yeah, we have a revised syllabus, which I'm going to go over in just a moment. As I mentioned to you earlier, you have access to your textbook. This is free of charge, courtesy of your publisher. So I'm going to ask everyone to make sure that they go in and look at that. Now that we're not meeting face to face, it's probably more important than ever that you read the textbook. Here's another little thing that I've put on the As You Learn page. If you click into this, it'll go into a meeting room if everything works right. What I'm planning to do is have office hours on Tuesday at 9:30 and then also at 11. So anybody can come into that meeting room and we're just going to talk. I can try to answer questions you might have about the material. So tomorrow you might have a question about the group project, how that's going to work out. Just come in there. But I want to emphasize also that you're not limited to this. You can request a Zoom meeting with me at any time. Excuse me. Down here, going on further down on As You Learn, you'll notice we have a thing called Group Project on Palapod International. Let me tell you a little bit about this. This is a company that was started by a recent Appalachian State University graduate. It's a young woman. Her name is Tia Wan. She's from mainland China. She graduated from App State in 2018. She was in my class, and she has since moved to New York, where she started this company called Palapod International. So this company is at the fundraising stage now, and she is looking for ideas. So rather than have a case competition, I'm going to assign this one company to all of the group members, all of the groups. So you will work on this in your groups. You need to maybe establish Zoom links so you can have conferences, and also start a Google Doc. And notice on that we also have peer evaluation. Here's some information about the company brochure, et cetera, et cetera. All of this is what we're going to do for our group project instead of a case competition. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is the syllabus. If you open up this link on As You Learn, you will see we have a syllabus. This one is revised due to coronavirus, right? So everything is the same, but let me talk about the assessment. This has changed just a little bit. We're no longer meeting in person, so obviously you can't participate. I've reduced that from 15% to 10%. We're still going to do our 4 exams. We've done 2 of them already. The last 2 will be online. We'll talk more about that later on. We have the group assignments that are still counting for 5%. And now we have this group written report, which we know is going to be on the company As You Learn, which is 25%. So all of this adds up to 100%. All right. And again, we have the 4 exams. We're going to still drop the lowest grade. And if you're comfortable with your grade, you can still opt out of the final. The last 2 exams, exam 3 and the final exam, will both be online. So let's talk a little bit about all of that's here. If you have any questions, you can ask me later. I just want to touch base on this. We jump down here, we can see that our schedule has been revised. Now it takes into account the fact that we've had 2 weeks for spring break. That moves everything back. Later today, I'm going to put up our first lecture on mergers and acquisitions. So, right. The next 3 weeks, we're going to cover chapters 7, 8, and 10, mergers and acquisitions, international strategy, and corporate governance. Then we'll have our third exam, 7, 8, and 10. Then we go into you guys working on your case project. It's no longer a case competition, just a written report, which will be submitted on April the 28th. Everything else stays the same, all right? So no big deal. So the last thing I'm going to talk to you about is the guidelines for this project. Again, this is a company. It's at the fundraising stage. It was started by an MBA graduate from 2018, Appalachian State University. I'm going to ask you for that to do an overview of this company, to do an external analysis, a 5 forces analysis, identifying the competitors and so forth. I'm going to ask you to do an internal analysis, that is identifying the core competencies, talking about how the company makes money, et cetera, business level strategies, how do they compete, who are their major competitors, and then finally developing recommendations. I want you to go into the website because some of the information we have there is the company website and other things. Play around with this and then come up with some recommendations for Tia. She is looking for recommendations, so this is win-win for us. Right, and then conclusions. This paper is going to be done by your group. Each group will be working on the same project. 11 or 12 point font using the APA format. You'll refer to readings in class, etc., and a maximum of 25 pages, not including the references, tables, illustrations, or appendices. So I think that's about it. Go into that information on Palapod and see if you have any questions. Tia has also agreed to let us have her email address too, so you can ask questions to her directly. All right? Hey, it's me again. So yeah, don't worry, everything is fine. We're gonna get through this. I'm gonna do everything I can to make sure everybody graduates on time that's supposed to graduate. Just do your best. Let me know if you have any questions. And thanks a lot.